Now, this is a video which I need to be doing sitting down. I was recently at a event in Colombia. I was asked to speak there, and I'd done this exact exercise on the whole of the audience. And one of the things that was surprising is that some people actually felt nauseous. And if you feel nauseous when you do this, you don't want to look as far, but it's a sign that your body is under a lot of stress. And we are going to work on a thing called the vagus nerve here. And this is a nerve, one of your cranial nerves, that connects from your brainstem into your gut, into other vital organs. And it sends messages both down into the gut and also back up. So we have to make sure we have good connectivity here. And it's going to be signaling digestion, it's going to be signaling whether we're going to get the adrenals firing up, cortisol, all these different things that are going to be signaled as a result. And if these messages are mixed up, we can get brain fog, we can get anxiety, we can get high levels of ADHD, we can get bloatedness, we can get reflux, so many different things. Now, this seems a bit out there for some people. Trust me, this stuff really works. Now, the exercise we're going to go through is in a book, if you want to read more about it, called Accessing the Healing Power of the Vagus Nerve by Stanley Rosenberg. And you can read a little deeper into what we call the polyvagal theory and your vagus nerve function when we go in there. But what you want to do is sit down or lay down. And first off, just move your head to the side, each side. Just keep your back straight, move to the side. You might notice that one side is a little bit tighter than the other. That's fine. We want to acknowledge that. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to hold our head without breaking your chair. Hold our head. We're going to lock our hands together. Now, the reason we're holding our head is not to press anywhere or anything like that. It's just to keep your head facing forward. And what we're going to do from here is actually look all the way to the left. And we're going to hold that for about 30 seconds. Now look as far as you can and just hold that and breathe deeply. And bring your eyes back to the front. Now, if you do look far and you do feel nauseous, just don't look as far. And you might get the need to sigh deeply or you might yawn. That's fine. Go with it and just hold it for about 30 seconds. You can hold it up to 2 minutes as long as you need to hold it. But I would say a minimum of 30 seconds. Then go straight into the other side. Exactly the same thing. Then just relax. And what you will or should notice is that this is what we call the vagus nerve reset. You can do it a couple of times a day. You can do it as much as you need, but I recommend doing it first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Now, if you turn your head, you'll probably find that that side that was a little bit tighter isn't quite as tight right now. And this is very much linked neurologically. If we work on our vagus nerve, we work on our vagal tone, as we call it, that is going to help you improve your brain function. Now, there are a couple of other things we can do in order to help our vagus tone. And that is number one, gargling water. Now, it's not actually gargling. I'm not going to do it with my water. It's not gargling lightly, but literally getting the water and gargle quite heavily. And you would get like a mug full of water and you would do that 2-3 times a day, the whole mug. Someone says, how long should I do it? Do it. Don't let yourself choke, but do it for a good few seconds. If you think about building a muscle, if you're building your biceps, you don't just have a very light weight. You have to push it close to failure. And we want to work on that with your vagal tone. Another thing you can do is sing loudly. Now, it's not necessarily going to be good for the people around you, but get them involved as well. If we're all singing and making fools of ourselves, then who cares? But singing will vibrate and activate your vagus nerve and work on that vagal tone. A couple of other things you can look at is working on your gag reflex. You can get sticks where you can push to the back of your throat. And if you don't gag, it means you haven't got very good vagal tone. We have to work on that. Or if you gag too quickly, it's not very good vagal tone. We have to work on getting the right level of gag reflex in there. And lastly, another one is coffee enemas. You can actually do an enema with coffee, which will stimulate your vagus nerve. Now, I would say go through and do the resets. There's other exercises inside this book, and if you want to read deeply about it, it is quite scientific. I would recommend just having a read through or downloading the audio book and doing some of these exercises.